Hello again, everybody. This is Rocketrickj18 coming to you from the launching pad. And today I'm going to do a continuation of a look at the 1930, uh, 1936 and 37 cards. And this will be the final video on those pre-war cards, and then I've got some play ball cards that I'm going to look at, and a few other odds and ends. And this is all part of you know showing you essentially all my pre-war cards, or nearly all of them. So let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to start off with this 1937 Butterfinger. It's R310, and this is not an uneven border. There is a little nick here and another one up here, and kind of what looks like a bit of a tear there. These are blank back cards, and what I've done is, just sort of to remind me of what these blank back cards are, since they don't really say anything on the cards themselves. Uh, I said 1937. Obviously, it's 1934. And this is Lefty Grove. So these are full-size pictures. I mean, they're I think probably pretty close to 8 by 10, or I don't know, 7 by 7.5 or something like that. But let's just talk a little bit about Lefty Grove. Uh, Lefty Grove started with the Philadelphia Athletics, and then he was part of the great sell-off of that team after the conclusion of the 1931 season. The Yankees had won in 1928, and then the A's won three straight, and their big stars, big pitching star was Lefty Grove, and their big hitting star was Jimmy Fox, and they had, really their among their best seasons. And then they were both of those guys ended up being shipped off to Boston essentially for cash. And it was the second time that Connie Mack had done that. Um, and the reason for it was, basically he was the owner of the team, and when they got to the point where, that they were running in the red, he couldn't, he didn't have any other source of funding. He didn't have, what manufacturing wealth or real estate wealth or banking or anything like that. He just had his ownership of the team. So Lefty Grove had some awesome statistical data. He won 300 games and lost only 141 with a 3.06 earned run average, and a career that began in 1931 and went through 1941, where he won 30 games twice in his career. So this is the R310 Butterfinger from 1934. Now the next cards are also large format cards. They come from the National Chicle or Diamond Star collection of 1936 cards, 6x8 cards. And the first one that I'm showing you here is Mel Harder. And this was there we go. So this is the R311 leather surface, given that they had sort of a rough, leathery type of a surface to them. Again, completely blank back, and so these R311s were something like premiums, I guess. Probably would be considered that. The other version of the R311s, and there are two separate ones, is represented by this Bill Terry New York Giants card, and it's a glossy photograph. So this is again part of the same 1936 National Chicle or Diamond Star 6x8 photographs, the R311 leather, and then the glossy. And here they are. You can see that there's the glossy ones has more of a grayish cast to it, whereas the leather has more of almost a sepia or creamy texture and cast to them. But it's considered to be the same set. I believe there were maybe 12 of the I'm not sure. One of them I think has 12 photographs, and the other one has I think 24. I believe those are the numbers, but I've forgotten which is which. So these are the R311s. So we got the R310 and the R311s. The R312, you saw my one in the DiMaggio pictures. And here are the 1936 Goudey cards. And these are pretty small cards, so, this is Hank Bonora. So the R312 that you saw was Joe DiMaggio, and it is with Joe McCarthy, and that's the R312 pastel cards. They're again not the largest format, but much bigger than this card, for example, which is the 36 Goudey. And here's Clyde Castleman, another one of the R3 20 R322 and the 1936 Goudey regular issues. The R313 is the fine pens, the R314, the wide pens, The R315, those are, geez, I'm not 100% real sure. I think those were Goudey, a set of Goudey premiums. The R317s, those are the Cashins. R318, I believe that's another Goudey set. And then the R319 is the 1933 Goudeys, the 320, 1934 Goudeys, and the 321s are the 1935 Goudeys. And then these 1936 Goudeys, they're not premium type cards. They're regular issue Goudeys along with these. So there's Hank Benora, Frank Frassetti, and Clyde Castleman. And then there's Hall of Famer Chuck Klein and Gas House Gang member Pepper Martin. So that's what I have to show you in the abbreviated video so far. But we're going to talk a little bit about some Wheaties cards. Now we're So let's take a look at these Wheaties cards. And the first one I'm going to show you is 1937 Wheaties. And this is Joe DiMaggio. And from his Bat Like a Home Run King version. Oh, the wrong way. There we go. So this is in an SGC 1 holder, which is really, I think, probably because of the writing and then the staining on it would be my guess. This is from Series 6 in the 1937 Wheaties, which is one of the earlier ones. And you've seen my other DiMaggio Wheaties cards. I think this is now my fourth one, fifth one, something like that. Blank backs, hand cut, and then these are also 37 Wheaties, and they are so here's a couple of to show you. First is Hall of Famer Joe Medwick. Now, these are almost square. They're slightly longer than they are wide, so but they're close to being square. And Joe Medwick, I think I mentioned to you in an earlier video that won the 1937 Triple Crown, and he was also elected to the Hall of Fame. Ducky Medwick. Here's another member of the Gas House Gang, and this is Pepper Martin. Looks kind of pigeon-toed there, doesn't he? And then here is a pitcher from the Brooklyn Dodgers with one of the great all-time names, Van Lingle Mungo. Those of you who remember Mungo Jerry song in the summertime, really happy-go-lucky song, but that was based on Van Mungo. And that came out, I don't know, probably 1970, something like that. I graduated from high school in 1970. So that's what I have to show you today. And so let's turn the camera back up. I will close out this video by saying this is Rocketrickj18, wishing that all your collecting dreams come true.